Getting back to the grind is good for you. I know September can be a very challenging month. There's a lot going on. Summer's over, school is starting, work is kicking back into high gear. There's a different kind of feeling in the air, and it's often bittersweet. Am I right? Part of you is sad that summer is over, but the other part of you is happy to get back into a solid routine. Or at least you should be. And I'm going to tell you why. Getting back into that grind, being part of that grind, being in it every day, having that routine, it's actually really good for you. And human beings are built for it. And you may not realize it all the time right away. And as human beings, I think, especially in the Western side of the world, we're always talking about when's the next break? I'm burnt out. I'm working too hard. When's the next vacation? How do I save up for it? But the truth is, if you have a solid routine most of the time, it's actually really, really good for you. And you can use the routine to your advantage. And that's not to say you don't need breaks. You absolutely do. But getting back into it is really good for you. Let's dive right in. First, let's talk about resisting change. It is absolutely 100% normal to feel this resistance to any kind of change in your life. This is human nature. And it's also normal to have a routine, because human beings thrive on this, and we need to embrace that routine instead of resisting it. Routine in our lives. Think about when you're trying to get into a healthy workout or eating healthy routine. When you're in a rut, and by a rut that could really mean anything, like not eating healthy, eating out too much, not making it to the gym, not having any physical activity, not doing all the walks that you used to do in any given day outside, not spending enough time with your kids when you really want to. Anything could be a rut to any person. But when you're in that rut, have you ever noticed how difficult it is to pull yourself out of it because you feel as though you're so deeply in it? The same thing goes for anything else in your life too. If you're in a health zone, if you're in that kind of a zone, then you don't want to break out from that either. Let's say you've been working out 6 days a week for the last 6 months and you're scared that if you miss a day, everything might fall apart. It's because you're so into that routine. You have made it a routine and you feel good about that routine. And even when you're in a bad routine, it's still a routine. So unfortunately, sometimes you stick in it and you don't really know how to get out of it. And sometimes when you're even in a healthy routine, you do need to break out of it and you do need a break, but it's hard to because you're so deeply in it and your body becomes so accustomed to it, and your mind, body, soul is also accustomed to it, and you work hard, or you're working yourself into the ground, or you're burnt out, whatever it may be, it's hard to pull out. Same thing goes for when you're in summer vibes, laying back, chilling vibes, versus getting back to the grind kind of vibes. Gotta get to work, let's go. And all of these are cycles, and they're regular cycles in our lives. We can't forget that, right? We always go through these. It's hard to stay in a complete working zone for 365 days of the year. You need a break. You have to regroup. At the same time, imagine summer just went on forever. And even though you may be working, we all know it's more like at a gear 2 or 3, as my friend just said the other day, and I love the way he put it. You're at a gear 2 or 3. You're not at a gear 1. Gear 1 is for September. Gear 1 is for June, before you know you're going to kick back and relax a little bit more in the summer. Remember that all of these cycles, from the hard work, the daily routine, to the vacations, to the breaks, and then it starts all over again. These are all regular cycles, and we got to just learn to embrace them as opposed to feeling badly about them or giving into that scared fear or resistance. Feeling scared, fearful, or apprehensive. Also 100% normal. You are not alone. We all feel this, especially when it comes to different transitions in the year. And I also feel that it's important, if you are a parent, you've got to coach your kids through those emotions too. You've got to let them know that it's okay that they feel that, and remind them that, for example, the first day of school, I know that my kids before the first day of school were, especially one of mine, my daughter was, feeling very scared and apprehensive for the day up ahead. She's also transitioning schools, even though a lot of the friends are transitioning that way too, but they feel this uncertainty. And it's so easy to fall into that fear trap and to just get stuck in these scared emotions. So it's important that we give them tips and tools and affirmations that they can use in those moments as well. My dad reminded me of an awesome quote from someone really famous. And that quote is this: "The only thing to fear is fear itself." I love this because isn't that so true? The only thing to fear is fear itself. We can say that we're scared of this or scared of that or scared of this, but we're really just scared of the fear behind that thing. Are we really scared to go back to work, or are we scared about the fear associated with work? I won't be good enough. I won't succeed enough. I won't get the promotion I want. I won't explode and sell 1,000,000 books like I want. I won't make the painting as I see it in my head. Whatever it may be, it's the fear behind it, not the actual thing itself. Remind yourself throughout the course of this month, routine and grind is good. You are built for this. Routines. Human beings are creatures of habit and routine. Psychological studies actually show that predictive and repetitive routines can reduce anxiety and be very calming for human beings. They can also help you take control of your everyday life. Routines help us start our days off right. They help us make big decisions and better decisions that are big because all the little menial stuff is already taken care of in the routine. Routines can actually help us sleep better. They can help us carve out quality time with our loved ones because the routine makes us get our work done at a particular time of the day. And finally, routines, if we're using our time wisely and sticking to that routine, help give us extra time to do what we love to do, whether that be bike rides through the forest, or a walk on the local trail, or going to the gym and working out, or dancing in our basement, or reading, or whatever it may be that you want to plug in that is not your everyday work. To make routines really work well for you for all daily tasks you have to complete, do them at the same time every day. So studies show this can actually help you structure your day better so that when you do that task you have to do every day at the same time every day, your brain is ready for it and it will do it better and in a productive amount of time, and you never have to worry about fitting it in and feeling frantic after that. Another big thing to help you make routines work well for you instead of against you is removing any variables that may cause stress. And you could use this with your kids too. I think this is great to keep in mind for that as well. So for example, if you take too much time in the morning because you're half asleep and it stresses you out and then you're rushing but you can't figure out what to wear, lay out your clothes the night before. Sounds simple, you've heard it before, but we all know we need reminders about this stuff, right? And I think that's really big for kids too, to just keep them focused in the morning. And I don't need to ask mom about, is tomorrow a shorts day? Is it a pants day? This happens in my house every day, shorts or pants. So I think this could be very helpful too. Check that weather the day before, lay out the outfit, and then no one has to even think about it in the morning. Plan the week's dinners ahead of time. Oh my goodness, this is so big for me. And I find that this is a source of sort of my daily routine that's a little bit stressful. Is like, oh God, what do I make today? There are only so many options that will suit my family, that everybody will eat, but I might be sick of certain things, sick of this, sick of that. It's important to have that all laid out. And sometimes I even ask my family members for ideas. So everybody make a dinner request this week. Then guess what? I don't have to think about it as much. You can plug that into your routine as well. And clutter or feeling disorganized is another big one that might work against you when it comes to your routines. So declutter that desk over the weekend. Get organized for Monday before Monday actually starts. All these things can have a positive effect on making your routines work better for you. The grind. What is the grind? The grind is a huge part of life. We often talk about it negatively. Getting back to the grind. Ugh. Ha ha ha. The thing is, the grind is a lot of our lives, and we have to accept that. If we think about it, the grind is cooking the delicious dinner before it becomes delicious and before you get to eat it. The grind is getting homework done. The grind is writing an essay, doing a workout, raising phenomenal children, starting a business, writing a book, painting a canvas, advancing a career, fighting an illness, making money, committing to a vision. This is all the grind. You have to commit and work towards the vision before you see it come to life. You have to work and grind it out as you try to advance your career before you ever get to reap the benefits of those efforts. The grind is most of it. The achievement is a fraction of it. So what's the bottom line here? You've got to enjoy the process. You have to embrace the grind instead of feeling the resistance towards it. You are capable. You are good enough. You can do this. So how do you get into the grind and get out of the rut or transition through September in a smooth and expedient and productive manner? Set your alarm clock. Get out of bed. Throw on a pump me up song that always gets you going. Sit down at your desk. Hop on the bus. Put pen to paper. Put paintbrush to canvas. Put on your uniform. Pack your lunch. Talk to your boss. Show up. Smile. How can communication help us through this September transition or any other time that you find yourself in a rut or a more relaxed state and you're trying to get back to that grind? You're trying to get back to that routine. Like anything else, talking and communicating helps tremendously. Feeling scared about the first day of school? Tell a parent. Are you worried about going back to work after mat leave? Discuss it with your partner. Talk about it with a friend. Unmotivated about summer being over and getting back into the swing of things? Bring it up at the dinner table. Talk about it with your family. Talk about it with friends, colleagues. Be honest about how you're feeling. Chances are 9 times out of 10, the people you talk with are probably feeling the exact same way. So the biggest thing that you will figure out by communicating this is you are not alone. We all feel this way at one point or another. When you're talking with your partner, talk openly about how you're feeling. Help each other and lift each other up. Decide on a daily routine or a few changes that you can make that you know will make the new routine of the fall coming into September after the summer or any other time in your life where routine has to come back in place. How will you get back in the swing of things the easiest? How can you divvy up tasks, create times, like could you get this done by this time in the morning so that we can all get out on time? Yes. Shall we set our alarm for this time so that we're not rushed like we were last year? And so forth. Work together. Talk openly, lift each other up through this, and you'll get there. Soon you'll be in that wicked, grinding groove where you're being productive and feeling awesome about what you're accomplishing every single day. To your kids, when you're communicating with them, remind them that when they're feeling fearful or resistant to any one of those times of change in their lives, whether it's starting a new sport, moving sports clubs, starting a new school, entering a new grade, just getting back to that first day of school after a fun summer that you've had, coming back after Christmas break, March break, anything at all. Remind them that they're not alone in those feelings. Remind them that you feel that way when there's transitions in life, and also remind them that probably every other kid feels exactly the same way that they do. Remind them that they're going to quickly adjust and get back into the groove, just like you do, just like other kids do. It's the starting that's the hardest. It's the first day that's the start that's the hardest. And sometimes it's even the build up before the first day that's the hardest. Never mind the first day itself. Once you're there, things are flowing, you're grooving, you're already grinding it out, you're already in that new routine. Remind them also how strong and capable they are. Think of positive affirmations that work for them. Whatever your child's name is. I'm John, and I can do this today. I'm excited for the first day of school. Yes, I'm nervous, but I'll get through it and it's going to be awesome and I'm going to find the greatness in this day. Things like that. I'm Amelia and I know that I'm really scared about my new class and I don't know who my teacher is or if they're nice or not so nice, but I'm going to push through this and I'm going to be strong and I'm going to hold it together and I'm going to take deep breaths and I'm going to have a great day. Whatever you feel might work. But give them those tools that they need so that when they're in those moments, they feel empowered to make things happen and to grind it out. Communicating with colleagues. Tell your colleagues how you're feeling about not really wanting to end the summer, kind of bitter about going back, not sure how to get motivated. Then you can motivate each other. Maybe you send each other motivational YouTube videos to get you back on track. Maybe you read a motivational book. Maybe you share goals for the months up ahead, something to look forward to, something that's going to motivate you for those months coming up and that will give you that sense of purpose. Anytime you're working with a sense of purpose, that's going to motivate you further and make you produce great work and be happy about it. Finally, communicating with yourself. Tell yourself, remind yourself, the grind is good for you, that you actually want the grind, because this is when you feel alive. This is when you do what your heart is driving you to do. Even if you're in a career that you don't particularly love, but you're trying to now get back into the grind of carving some time out for yourself to do what you love, to do what you feel like you must do. Maybe that is writing a book on the side on evenings and weekends. Or maybe that is getting back to painting the way you used to love it when you were younger. Or maybe it is your job and your career that you love, but you know you need to push harder because achieving those huge goals that you have is going to take time and effort and tons of work. Whatever it is, remind yourself that you are built for this. Human beings are built for routine. They're built for the grind. You want to feel productive. You want to feel proud of yourself. And the more incremental steps you take in that direction and embrace that grind and embrace the routines that you are in, the better you're going to feel about yourself and the greater the work you're going to produce. Vacation time is over. Just say it out loud. It's okay. There'll be more to come if you're lucky enough. Your body, mind, and soul need to get back to routine now. They need to get back to work. It's good for you. So thrive on that. Embrace that. Enjoy the process of the grind and not just the end point. You have to enjoy the process. So many things in life it's built up of the process. You know, if we're only looking at the end point, are we excited to die? No, we have to enjoy the process. This is all a process up until the day we die. Try to embrace that grind, embrace that routine. When your alarm clock goes off, don't go ugh and roll out of bed. Try to be more positive. Try to embrace that alarm clock sound and say, okay, time for the day ahead. Let's do some great things that I'm going to feel good about. This is great for your mental health. It's great for your physical health. It's great for all of it. Get in that grind and know that you're privileged to be in that grind. Know that this grind is good for you and that's going to help you achieve great things. And talk about it all the way through. Communicate to motivate. I'm inviting you now to enjoy the grind and to get into it and to embrace it for what it is and enjoy the process along the way. Don't go anywhere. I've got another video that I think you'll enjoy. It's all about answering the question, why are we hard on ourselves? Are you hard on yourself? How can you understand that better so that you can conquer it? So click on that video on the next screen coming up and I'll see you there.